All right.
Hey, look at this.
I know.
Oh, back together. Are you still using average to good? Have I still heard this?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. This is stuck, huh? Okay.
That's right. Average to good. That's how we describe Chuck, by the way. Now, when you and I spoke before this interview, we thought we were going to have US-Canada in the final, and now we're going to have it in the third place game. So we're all coming in with disappointment and our feelings. Where are you on it?
Obviously, I'm sure the U.S. feels the same. We're disappointed, right? We really wanted to be in the final. So, yeah, now we play in the third place game. But I think in a lot of ways, it'll bring some motivation. You know, I won't have to talk too much about getting the guys up for the match. They'll be excited to play the U.S. You know, I think we respect the U.S. a lot and know that they're a really good team. And, you know, we'll definitely want to go for the win.
The question that everybody's going to want to know the answer to is, are you going to sing the national anthem for Canada and the United States?
We already covered this.
Yeah, but
we already covered
this is official competition.
Yeah, but I said this before. I said I will be respectful of the national anthem. I'll put my hand on my heart.
Yeah.
But I won't sing it, but I will sing the Canadian national anthem.
Okay.
That's what I will do.
All right.
I think Tony gave me a hard time.
Yeah, he did. Remember, he could not live with it.
Yeah.
For the life of me.
Okay.
Jesse, what?
Yeah.
How?
I mean, look, I'm still very proud to be an American, you know, and even though I don't live here and I only am a visitor now and these kinds of things, you know, obviously family and friends and all you guys and relationships with the U.S. national team, still really strong, really good memories.
So if we were doing one of our shows in the past, there would be a live stream, we'd be getting comments. And we know based on when you left that there were some that were out there where Jesse's a traitor. How could he go to Canada? So my question to you is, what if Bob Bradley, who was a mentor of yours, had taken the Canada job and you would be like, dude, what? You should be coaching the U.S. How would you have handled that?
If he had not been offered the U.S. job and taken the Canada job, I would have said, go for it. Good luck. And by the way, I said, do you need an assistant? Oh, yeah, I'll come with you. So, I mean, look, this is not about being a traitor. If I would have said, I'm not taking the U.S. job, I'm going to Canada, right?
That's an important
Then maybe you couldn't say it.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, U.S. had the chance to hire me, and now it's over. You know, it's over. Trust me, it is over. It is over, okay? But I'm enjoying my time in Canada entirely. Like, I'm thinking more about, like, what could this look like long term, you know, and like working with the game in the country, working with the coaching elements, trying to build a more robust youth national team program, trying to connect the dots of what the game is and what the sport is in the country. And I find that there's a lot of people that really want to work together, and that part's been really nice.
This is a sprinting exercise, not jogging.
Looking down the road, like, what could that mean for you in Canada for long-term planning?
So what it would look like is creating a DNA for the sport, creating a vision of what the game can look like at the highest level. And I'm not being overly critical, because just look at our player pool right now and you'd say, wow, there's some high-level talents there. So there's already good work being done. But I think one of the things we need to do is develop these kinds of talents earlier, younger, right? And have them have more experiences that can accelerate their learning curves and their overall development.
Now, Mauricio Pochettino recently said that he thinks that U.S. could be one of the top nations in the world in 5 to 10 years. From Canada's perspective, how long do you think before they're really cutting their teeth against some of the best nations consistently?
Yeah, I mean, look, I was asked the question before this game against Mexico, are we the favorites, right? I mean, we achieved the #1 seed. We had a good 2024. We did well at Copa America, all these things. And I just said, look, culturally, the game is nowhere near what it is in Mexico, right? So it's not just, do we have a good player pool and do we have a good foundation for what the team is? Yes, we do. But you know, again, when you watch the Mexicans and their feel, even I say Alvarez for the penalty, he goes down and grabs his leg like he was kicked, and this is a factor in the whole, they call the foul for them, right? And so, but this is kind of, you know, when we played the Argentinians, when we played the Chileans, the Peruvians, the Mexicans, we can say that we're creating some high-level talents in these countries, but to put it all together culturally, right? To really understand how to be the best, to beat the best, to be amongst the best. Like, this is where the challenge lies, okay? And like, you look at hockey in Canada, and yeah, we have the best because this is what they grow up with. And they understand the identity and DNA of what Canadian hockey is. There's a cultural aspect of what it means to grow up with the sport in a country. And I said in Germany, we never, the kids until they're 15 years old don't play 11v11. But they can adapt that quickly because they're all watching since they're 3 years old with their families. And so their development is not just about their technical, tactical skills. It's their cultural understanding of what the game means.
When we talk about team building, or at least having success as a team, there's the 4 buckets of development, right? You have the technical, tactical, physical, mental, emotional. You talk about mentality a lot. When we hear about or talking in press conferences, it's the same. What else are you doing in terms of mentality, and how much is that factoring into the players that you're looking for? Because it's not always talent, right? Because if you don't have that all-important thing, and we could argue
In the U.S. didn't have that.
the U.S. doesn't have it. We're lacking in that, and we can argue that.
Am I here to help you guys, or am I here to?
A little bit of both.
You guys
This is therapy.
This is therapy for us. This is
Okay,
therapy for
hang
us.
in there, fellas. You're gonna be okay.
We're trying.
Because there's you know, we hear from some of our players saying we need to be more nasty, we need to be more tough, and if that's a theme that we're hearing that the players are repurposing from their coach, and then we don't see it actually happen out on the fields,
It's not the first time.
that's a disconnect, right? And so our players are rightly getting labeled soft.
I don't want to make this a bulletin board material for the U.S. I'm going to talk about
I'd love that.
what
if
we
you did,
do.
though.
Okay. For me, it's like I look at it as, you know, I don't know what kind of coach you'd want to call me. You know, I mean, some people think that I'm a pressing coach. Some people think I'm a mentality coach. I don't know. I mean, you have to wear hats as a manager, right? But I do try to be a relationship person. When I was the coach in Europe, we would see a lot of American guys, right? Whether it was at Bayern or around Germany or in Champions League. And every time I would see them, I would kind of go to them after the game and I would say, hey, keep going. Like, we're all proud of you. And so it's kind of the same message I have for our Canadian guys, is just trying to support them and encourage them and let them know that even though it's difficult and nobody really knows back home how much, you know, how lonely they are and how hard it is to do these things. They all think, oh, they're millionaires, they're doing this, they're on TV. It can be miserable, right? And just trying to make sure that you're supporting them the right way, challenging them to keep pushing their level the right way. And that investment, I think they feel, they appreciate, and it means that, you know, that the relationship can be bonded, where then when things get tough, you can have very clear, direct conversations about exactly what it's going to take to get better, and that we can't have anything but the highest expectations from each other.
All right, before we let you go, this is part of tradition of Call It What You Want, a throwback. What's your prediction for the third place game?
I'm not doing this.
You gotta give us a prediction. It's tradition.
No.
Are we talking extra time?
Because of you idiots, the U.S. is going to be ready to play. Like, there's no doubt. No prediction.
I'm looking. Do you have one?
Guys.
Do I want to sit in front of it?
Yeah.
You're going to take the U.S. You should.
I'm going to take the U.S., of course.
Better. You guys are American.
I'll say 2-1. I'll give Canada. Thank you, Jesse Marsch.
All right, guys.
We appreciate
Awesome.
you. Good luck on Sunday. We look forward to seeing you.
Awesome.
Yeah, you're the best.